everyone, welcome back to a new episode of It's a Progressive World, a lighthearted podcast about everything and nothing. As always, you can find timestamps down below, and please like and subscribe. Alrighty, Sam, what do we have for today?
We have I think, amazing show. It's one of the best because when you discover a whole new world, and I feel like I've discovered 3 or 4 whole new words this week, and I'm gonna share them with you. I think first we're gonna talk about Olayemi and the continuing. I mean, I want to Anna Gate, shall we call it at this point? Anna Gate, Anna Casparian Gate. I don't know, but
That's funny.
that just it was very much like Watergate too. It opened up the door to a whole level of. I had no idea so many black racists basically were out there, and it's unbelievable, man. This Olaimi girl, I can't believe I thought like I defended her at some point. You remember back in the days when she was like a public defense? We thought she was like, you know. Anyways, it's like the things I've seen. I feel like I came back from Vietnam and I need to tell you about it. Then we're going to talk about the BPD podcast, which is named after the disease that the host is suffering, it seems to me. Talking to Anthony Weiner, basically a ex-military psychopath goes after a sexual pervert from the deep state. So that's always fun. And then Lex Fridman had an interview with probably one of the people who I like. I used to be very neutral about, but now I am almost like aggressively hateful towards. You all know Harari, who's probably the dumbest person who's written a book, I think, like after seeing this interview. Like, man, I used to defend that book. I only had some good books, some good points in it. But yeah, so that's it, I think, for this. And some geopolitics, UK creeps being UK creeps, Dan Wooten, all that. So yeah.
Yeah, that Lex Fridman interview with him, I mean, how extreme he takes his stupid position. Yeah, I mean, because his book, exactly, you're like, oh, okay, this guy, if he also himself knows that he's kind of telling a narrative and a story,
To
but
children or to
like, yeah.
teenagers, whatever. Yeah, exactly.
But in this video, I kind of find out like his own belief in that system, and then you're like, okay, so yeah, no, I gave you too much good faith,
No, wait. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
know basic definitions, man. He's like, look, God means there is a animal that has a shell on its back
Or
and it
listen,
moves
but
around slowly. What is like he's completely giving different
listen, he's
definitions
selling
for things.
millions and millions and millions of these books, right? So I mean, I'm sure he knows that the way he's talking and the things that he's
No,
saying
I don't
are
think so.
not, or are not probably as common, or the basic way things are described in different fields or areas, or
No,
like just words. I don't know. I mean,
I'm more inclined to think he's one of those people who's just sheer stupidity has allowed him to rise because people are like, because it's beneficial when you are this stupid and this like have this level of convictions in your stupid thoughts. Liberalism is this. Marxism is that. It's just the nonsense. Complete like, wood is this. Iron is
But
that.
I'm pretty sure people in the comment section of Lex Fridman, I think, because I think that's where I saw the video, was his own channel. If I remember correctly, even people in his own podcast comment section they were like, what is this guy kind of saying? So we'll get to that, but I don't know if you
Really?
checked out
Okay,
the comment.
thank
I think,
God.
yeah,
No, thank
I
God.
think,
No,
I
I
think.
never.
Watch
No,
me now. Later on,
even
I'm
I
gonna be
swear
looking
to
for that
God.
one comment. Scroll. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one, number
3 hours
99.
later. after series of thumbs ups and 100%. No, but I have to say, Lex Friedman, I think, came out of that discussion looking like a genius. Like when you're
What
against
he's
that
doing?
bald idiot,
No.
yeah, it's just unbelievable. Like the things we're saying, because like some people would say push back, but what do you push back against? Like there is nothing to put. It's almost like a flow. It's like he's his whole like vernacular is just floating signifiers.
Yeah.
It's just every single word. Like there is nothing you can hang on to. Like,
For sure.
uh,
But okay, so we'll get to that, I guess. But before we're gonna start with,
you
well, tell me.
be,
Yeah.
before starting though, nothing. You didn't watch the Anthony Weiner, Iranian Assyrian monster going at each other?
Wait, did I
Didn't?
or did I not? I thought we established that I did.
No, no, I don't think you did. You saw the one with the. I saw you couple of other clips from his show. I think you saw another one with Dave Smith or Dave Rubin. Jesus Christ! Every time I see Dave Rubin's face, I feel disgusted. It's before. It's before. Yeah.
So there's one.
Did you see this one? Did you see this one? Well, this guy, the
Okay,
guest.
this
Look at the
guy.
guest.
Okay, so this guy, I was just watching
Did,
this one. Oh, Bill Clinton's. Yeah, I mean, of course, I don't know. I
did
was
you
just
see
watching
this?
this one. Yeah.
Oh, this one was the best. This is what
Uh,
we're gonna.
this guy, oh my God, too funny. This guy, too funny. Although sometimes,
You,
but you know, the guy, I mean, I don't know.
you know,
Yeah, I watched
you know
maybe
what? You
half
know.
of it, but yeah, go ahead.
No, you know what was his when he got caught? What was his handle? The name, online name he used when he was chatting with girls or on I don't know. Uh, Carlos Danger. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You can't make
But I
this shit
didn't
up.
know the background to this guy and all this that you're saying. I mean, I just remember from the
Pretty
conversation them
common.
talking about him asking, so who's a better politician, Hillary or Bill? And it's like, well, although neither of them talk to me anymore.
No, neither of them answer my phone calls at the moment.
But weird
But
things
Bill,
come up in these conversations too, because even within that 30 seconds, I found out that he's divorced, but co-parenting with his ex-wife. I'm like, okay, all right.
no man, this is all. I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm not gonna sympathize with you at all because
How
this
did I
is all
sympathize?
really sympathize with you not knowing any. Anthony
Oh,
Weiner
oh,
was
oh.
the was like all of this is pretty much public knowledge because his computer was what led to the Hillary Clinton getting caught with the
On
whole
what?
like with the servers at
On
her
the
home. If
servers and the rest, yeah.
like if
Okay.
it wasn't for him, like
I
all of
see.
that Clinton stuff, then
Yeah.
Trump, all of that started with him.
Yeah.
This was before your political awakening, I
No.
think. So it's okay. It's okay.
I see. But okay.
Yeah.
All right. Should we go to Olayemi or
Yeah. No, I was just first when you said you hadn't seen this, I thought I bring it up. But yeah, it's time to move on to the, I guess, to the race watch segment of our show. From now on, we're gonna be calling out racists
races of all
from a
races?
surprising
No.
angle. Really didn't think it comes to this, but apparently there are black racists out
Alrighty, Sam. So let's resume. Let's talk about this. We have 3 Olayemi videos here. But this first one though,
Should I give a bit of context?
yeah, go give context. But I was gonna say we didn't discuss this one last time, or this is again because this girl is in it.
Sure.
Oh yeah, no, I
So
guess the story continued kind of. Yeah. Well, sorry.
yeah, well, you can even go to Olayemi's channel while I talk to show some of the sources for this video. So following whatever this, I'm going to talk about it to this whole narrative IT bullshit is continuing. They are still going at it on Twitter, it seems. But Olayemi did an interview with iDubbbz. I don't know how to pronounce the 3 B's, but iDubbbz and iDubbbz, man. Okay, let's just take a
Oh,
pause
okay.
there.
I know which one you're talking about. Okay, hold on. Go.
I
Sorry.
know. I'm just telling you, there is a whole like segment of internet that we are unaware of, and I'm becoming aware of, and I'm losing my mind, to be honest. It's Olayemi Olurin, if you put ULLRIN, I believe. And they all have names like Shuanhead. What was the other one? iDubbbz, and then there is the Illuminati, and then there is like Frisco, and fire in my asshole. I mean, it's just unbelievable
And what
names.
are
Just
they? But what is their
I
main?
don't
They
know.
cover mainstream topics, right? Like that's what they talk about. Like I don't know. What do they talk
Man,
about? Like what does
apparently
this guy talk about? Like
they
because
talk about
apparently he's very
everything.
famous, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, he's more famous than like fucking Beethoven was at his height. Like it's unbelievable. Like the level of fame these people. But
And yeah, he
to
just
me,
talks about general topics, like
the
whatever's
vi-
in.
yeah, it seems back in the days in YouTube when we were watching like people who were uploading illegal materials from like TV. These people were doing original
Yeah,
content, mostly. I mean, they call it comedy, and they say this was the edgy comedy on YouTube. I don't find any of it funny, to be honest. Like they would go fart on somebody's lunch, and I'm not. It's like that level of like they start shouting and breaking things,
Okay,
and
but
it's
that's
supposed to be
pranking. Is so
funny.
this guy's was a
No, not
prankster?
prank. No, not pranking. It was mostly like to
Okay.
get there doing crazy stuff. It seems to me, I don't know anything, by the way, so you're asking somebody who's completely. But anyway, it's so funny to me that yeah, they're all animation looking. They're all, by the way, have girlfriends who are doing OnlyFans and that type of thing, and then their fans become angry. Why is your girlfriend like doing it OnlyFans and stuff? It's like a lot of them. It wasn't just him. I remember I
Yeah,
read another one had a similar situation. So maybe I'm generalizing,
yeah.
but yeah, and they're same age as we are. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I don't know what loophole they fell into or what loophole we fell into,
Yeah.
Frank. you know. But anyways, this guy used to make comedy. The comedy that I genuinely don't under.
Jesus
It's not even
Christ.
yeah, you see the number of view subscribers and it's you see, man, from the sort of thumbnails it's so chaotic. I don't even understand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's maybe it's funny even like it's just like what the fuck is going on?
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so it just gets more confusing the more you look at it. But anyways, he used to make videos about another lady who was on YouTube, and from
MTV
everything I've
YouTube.
read,
Her.
this lady, that's MTV was a good. Now she has her own channel, but from everything everybody says, she was basically this lady who was paid by mainstream to make videos on YouTube that was saying, "Oh, look at how YouTubers are all extremist and bad and stuff,"
Mm.
and just generally say crazy shit. Which we have one example from
Yeah.
last week
Oh,
here.
she
I
turned off
went
the
and
comments.
of course she did. I watched one with the latest video I could find from her, and I was not sure how she's allowed to. Like, I don't know what is. Again, if anybody in America could clarify the requirement for committing somebody to a mental institution, I would be glad to know because at this point it seems like there is none. So this is years ago. He made videos about her and she then he recently has gone through a lot because his girlfriend is doing OnlyFans. I don't know what is going on. So he's decided to do apology. He decided to come out and do this self-flagellation
Oh
online
my
that is,
God.
I made mistakes. I am. Why did I say the N word? Why did I say? By the way, I don't think I don't think I've actually never used the N word. I think even when I was like kid, in terms of against somebody. But I think when you were like 20, you're doing shitty videos. And I mean, I don't think he was, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen the videos. But anyway, he was doing self flagellation online. Then the other black lady, Francesca, she came out on Twitter and said, all those white people who have for years used the black people to climb up the ladder of capitalism or minority, blah, blah, blah. Now your apology means nothing to us. Now, blah, blah, blah. So she was basically trying, I guess, to get some traction off of that. I don't know. And then Olayemi thought as a, you know, as somebody who makes essays online and is trying to combat extremism and protect the community she's from. Not clear which community she talks about. No community has come out yet and claimed her. So I don't know which community she's defending, but whatever. So she thought she steps in, and she did the interview first with Francesca,
Yeah.
and then she did the interview with the racist motherfucker who dared in her teenage years and early 20s use bad words. And I mean, it was just the craziest thing. She's basically somebody who got the education, has learned the technical jargon, but her mind has remained 12. And is it like using the big jargon of think to just like, oh, they're attacking my gang of friends community. This is by community, I think she means her gang of friends. That seems to be the most natural conclusion. And it's just complete nonsense that there were apparently, according to these people, there were these people on YouTube like 10, 12 years ago that have amassed huge amounts of power and influence and money through the back of the minorities. And it's just become, it's very harmful. And then when even like they apologize, but they don't apologize to the right communities or to the it's unbelievable, man. That like I don't know how else did you watch some of it? Do you have a different take? Or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have, you know, I think I definitely watch less videos on these than you. I mean, this one I didn't even, you know, I couldn't even be bothered to care half-ass what they were saying. This individual video that's actually not part of the storyline. This is more like an individual
that's an example of this
example, yeah,
case
you
study.
brought
Yeah,
forward.
that's a case. Yeah.
You have more, but this is just one video where just, I mean, just how ridiculous this is. You can just attack this argument from so many ways or highlight how ridiculous it is in so many ways. But yeah, so overall,
interview.
and then of course we haven't even reached this.
Oh yeah, we will get there. But play this a bit, maybe from later on or from here, wherever Olayemi talks, basically, or the other black lady. It's just hilarious.
Okay, here, probably.
I'm going.
Man, these two fuckers
and millions of views are
worse than Vanguard.
Reagan actually did. He did.
They do minimum. We're not like his big thing.
Just go to Olayemi's video, man. These motherfuckers. They. I mean, I shouldn't have. I just brought this because the.
Oh, I thought you were friends with them. Now you're no longer friends with them.
No, I like them. It's just they pause every. I'm not friends with you. It's the second one, the leftist rebrand. That was it. That's it. Play. It's just they pause every 2 seconds, and it's 11 hours long. So there's no way.
Yeah, that's insane, huh?
Yeah.
Did you go down the rabbit hole of how that situation started? I mean, the levels of irony. You apologizing to a white girl for using the N-word who also used the N-word?
Who used to at herself?
Also used the N-word, and you thought that you were gonna check her on using the N-word by using that.
There are people who just feel personally attacked. They automatically feel like you're making a personal indictment of them, and from that moment forward, they are in defense mode, and you are their adversary. Because what they're really,
you know, when you mention their names,
a bad person. I think they consciously decided to be racist. But the reality is a lot more nuanced and a lot less personal. The reality is that if you recognize,
no, I mean, listen, like generally, like one thing I was stuck with, one thing that struck me immediately, and I'm seeing it again here, is that both here when she's talking that, you know, people come after me more than other people in the comment section, and then, you know, here she's again talking about people feeling attacked and all this. I'm guessing, but let's wait for that. We'll get to that. But there's absolutely no acknowledgement on her behalf that she's also, like, you know, a vocal person who goes around and says you're doing this and you're doing that. So of course.
No, that's the thing.
In her other videos, she acknowledges that not even once. That, I mean, she's like, oh, on the leftist mafia, people talk about me more in the comment section. Now let's take that for granted and let's just say it's true and all that in a bad way. Go
Let's wait for that. Play a little bit more of
fine.
this. Play a bit.
Racism is pervasive in a society, that there is systemic racism, that we are all being raised and educated and indoctrinated in a society that has woven racism and anti-blackness into our laws, into our media, into our schools,
except here,
every fabric of our institutions. You will internalize and perpetuate racism and anti-blackness, whether you're aware, whether you consciously set out to be or identify as a racist, whether you're a good person to the people in your life, whether you think you mean well or not, unless you make the conscious decision to recognize and unlearn these things and do better going forward. Although it is often.
But I thought you just said.
Yeah, I'm so glad for people like her to be out there to tell us what is going on in our subconscious. I mean, I'm not American, but I'm sure all the white Americans who've been indoctrinated into anti-black. What the fuck is she talking about? Has she even like seen all? Does she know like a state by state education differs? Like sometimes county, but like I haven't again been to America, and I seem to have a more nuanced view of American education. It's like the thing is, man, exactly as you say, that's why she's a little princess who's above all everybody else. She's allowed to say anything about anyone, call anybody white this, white that. You are I know better than you what you think. Like you are indoctrinated. Yeah. Let me tell you,
Which is fine, fair enough. Say it if you want, but like
but then expect it to come at you as well. That's But then if you're a black creator, they come out you in a different way. They are inciting violence against you if they make fun of you. Jesus Christ, man, it's unbelievable. And by the way, I don't think even, like, go to the part where the iDubbbz interview starts. She has a smile from here to here, from like above her ears, connecting.
No, I've never seen her be so welcoming of someone.
You think this guy is a sort of indoctrinated racist, but you're
the most welcoming you've ever been to anyone. Like everything about this interview is different. Like this is the first. I mean, of course, I don't watch your content all the time, but this is the first time seeing like this kind of camera angle and style and everything in the room, and with this smile like this.
I don't know about the camera angle, but the tone.
No, but like it's just different than all the other videos, no?
I mean, I know, but I mean, look, it's the same, but it's just. I guess camera was more zoomed. I think it's the same background.
I don't think he got the same treatment. I see it.
The surf? Oh no, surf? No, the Goofy, you shit on Goofy. You spit on him. He doesn't. He likes that. You spit on him. You know. But yeah, it's just pathetic, man. And then I have to say, this pathetic loser. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Yeah, I was so bad. I made this. Who made she the king of all the black people? Why do you apologize to her?
I mean, I don't know what he said or all that, so I don't even know anything.
Yeah, I mean,
about him to comment. So
I saw some bits. It was really shitty and stupid. I think, in my view, it was shitty and stupid. But it was not like, I don't know, man. It wasn't like he was denying jobs to black people at Microsoft. I mean, what is that? Like, you know what I mean?
And as you said, it could very much be like again, I don't know anything about him, but this whole thing could be part of a PR rebranding or something, no? Or like
for him? Oh, yeah, sure, for him. Yeah. I mean,
he's been on YouTube for a long time.
Man,
at some point,
no. To be honest, man,
need to renovate.
Sure, but these people are all like, I mean, even Olayemi, man. I find it hard to believe. No, I don't know. It's just he feels everything to them is like some kind of branding, you know. It's like those people who go to parties and are completely different. It's just unbelievable to me for somebody to think you're a racist piece of shit. Thank you for coming on my show. You remember when you incited violence against my community? Do you remember that, Camille?
Oh.
Yeah. Do you want to play a little bit of any of this to maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we don't go. Play any part.
I appreciate your answer because I think your answer allows me to like more clearly parse that out as I didn't care, and I don't mean that in a but didn't care. These are not people that you, and that was something I think kind of struck me, right? Because in watching your video, a thing I wanted to ask you about was how come Tana, of all the, you only singled out one person to apologize to. Why her?
I think because I kind of just took it to like another level. Because I think a lot of commentary channels, they can feel very comfortable and justified in speaking about a variety of topics because they're not like in person harassing people, and a lot of them are avoiding saying like the slurs, like I was saying. They're keeping it to like a certain level where they look around their community and they're saying like, well, I'm not doing anything like.
Jesus Christ, that's why the last time
what is his answer is that with this specific person I did a prank. I did a in real life prank. But go forward to what Olayemi says right after his answer, because it's hilarious.
What's the music that he's given to? Does she do that?
Oh my god, the elevator. I think so. The elevator fucking music on the background.
Like, why is that?
Because she's trying to educate you while trying to be cool.
But it's like
about
a 49
racism
minute
in America.
Video. You put that over the first 10 seconds, not the...
No, you need the elevator music for all of it, I think.
Because if you watch that video as someone like me who didn't watch your content and who isn't familiar of the larger array, you would think that this is the only person, you know, or maybe the way I read it was, okay, he's been in trouble for using this kind of language and racial slurs and all of this, but the only person he individualizes is a white woman. And he says, you know, he apologizes maybe to the black community in large, and it would lead you to believe that no black person was individually picked on or targeted, and that's not the case. And I think what I find interesting is that even in apologizing for doing racist things, a white woman is who was apologized to, as though there weren't black people who were called the N-word. And I wonder, because that took me down a rabbit hole of watching, you know, videos, and I saw a content cop you did on Jinx.
On camera. You don't get a break in the beginning. No resting. 100% 24/7 grind.
Damn, this nigga's on the grind. That shirt shouldn't say it's about that time. It should say.
Yeah, that's the type of racism she's talking about. And that guy apparently, I don't know, but when he was stealing content from others. By the way, Nat, did we just platform an N-word guy?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, Olayemi is gonna be, you racist fucks. I mean, you see what I mean about she's gone learn the technical jargon language, and he's like, I went down this rabbit hole of why this community has not been apologized to, but that one single white person has been apologized. Jesus Christ, man, it's unbelievable. These people are, I mean, I guess it's much easier than actually, you know, doing something positive. It's just focus on calling out everybody else's.
I mean, if they all, I mean, I guess you would say, why did you apologize just to this one person individually? If you're going, why didn't you just apologize to more people? And I guess his explanation is that I like physically did something to someone, right? Which I think that's differentiated, though, right? Is that what he's saying?
Me too. That's from what I understood. Yeah. That's
he did some like
they did a
really
prank.
Bad,
they did
one of those
at the airport or something. They sort of they surprised her. Yeah, exactly. And
sometimes my dream that someone pranks me like that, and I somehow overreact and do something really bad to them.
Me too, like shoot them. Like I have a gun somehow and I shoot them. I say it was your fault.
5 minutes after the incident.
Yeah, exactly.
Go get the gun. Come. You caused it.
Can you do this again? 10 minutes from
But
surprise parties. Just I know, because I fucking hate them. Like, I despise surprise parties, truly.
Not to the two things. Nowhere near to the extent of these pranks, right? And of course,
sure. That's
totally different whether if it's for me or for other people, right?
For other people, I'm okay.
Yeah. But a few times, like I've been also to one where the person was taking it so overboard, like one part that it really pissed me off. Like something with the other person not finding out. But yeah, as long as they don't act like a mental nut job, the person throwing the
no for yourself
party. For myself,
no I meant,
but I don't know. I mean, I don't like anything.
That's what I
like
me
that.
too.
I would like a surprise time alone in the room. Is that on the menu?
Yeah, I like to come home. There's a note. Surprisingly, we all left you for a year. Oh my God.
A nice
Yeah,
one-person reservation at the restaurant. Plus YouTube. I don't know where that falls.
yeah, or at least the audio. Some form of audible access.
FM.
But now I think now we can go to the we can connect it back to the mainstream drama that is Anna, Cenk bullshit, Olayemi and Anna sort of going at each other.
Alrighty, Sam, we're back. I'm connected to power again. All good to go. It's just sometimes I see that you record without plugging into a charger, so I was like, it must work. But I think
my computer.
Videos, yeah.
No, it's always connected.
Oh, it's always. But I feel like sometimes it's not.
I'm very smooth about handling situation.
But anyway, that didn't last long with the videos and the mic. But okay, all right, let's get to this video where now this one I've really watched. I mean, after the first 2 minutes, I just could not believe it. And I think we can we can just play the first 2 minutes, I think. And but yeah,
I agree with. Before that, go to the picture of the last interview.
I already made that comparison and everything.
No, but no, but no, just the background is the same, but the difference in, I mean, Goofy is not getting the best placement.
No,
Goofy, like you just come out of shower, just put on a top, fuck it, Goofy.
Goofy.
We'll go on.
Yeah,
nobody gives a shit about Goofy. Anyway, but yeah, the surf. There was a big announcement because Olayemi was under so much pressure following her comments about how, race, white people this, white people that. Surprisingly, there was pressure. So she decided to, let's watch the video. I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, let's watch a little minute or two.
The chat that's moving so quickly with hearts and love. Both of them have lost their minds right now. Look at this. Look all you're leaving behind.
I'm like, let me come on so it can confirm they know that I still love y'all. There is no actual beef or drama of any kind. It is fine. I missed you earlier. So what'd you say? What was your say on it?
Yeah, basically kind of people, right? And then I was like, have to, on a repeated basis, be subjected to what I consider and agree with is, a unfair and undue amount of
play from a bit before, please.
Of control. An online personality associate or whatever they call all these kind of people, right? And then I was like,
I'm like, let me come on so it can confirm they know that I still love y'all. There is no actual beef or drama of any kind. It is fine. I missed you earlier. Talking to you. I can't rewind. So what'd you say? What was your say on it?
Yeah, basically all the things that I'd feel confident telling you behind the scenes. I said that, I consider Olayemi to be an actual friend, not just like a work colleague or not just like, an online personality associate or whatever they call all these kind of people, right? And then I was like, I for her own, mental health would rather her not have to, on a repeated basis, be subjected to what I consider and agree with is, a unfair and undue amount of criticism, of control, of policing. And you've done, I said, she's not paid for this. This is not her job. This is not her life. This should be fun. It's a favor. She's doing us all a favor by coming on the show on a regular basis and giving us funny takes, spicy takes, or in some cases, incredibly intelligent and articulate takes on a bunch of legal issues that we obviously wouldn't know about, right? Because you are
very few cases.
Wow, what a surprise, to have an intelligent, articulate black woman on the internet is getting a fucking ton of very unfair and unsolicited hatred from all corners of the world, because you're exposing yourself to a lot of and predominantly white leftist spaces. There are a lot of white.
But let's
this guy.
I mean, she says the same thing.
No, what are they talking? They're right-wing white bases. Like, have we just imported military language into this bullshit completely now? Like, there is Team Pool has a white military base, and she'd refer to them. Unbelievable. Man, this guy. What is wrong with this guy?
Well, they're friends.
I mean, dude. No, man, come on. No, this is like, first of all, if he was an actual friend, no, he's a crazy person. What is he talking about? Like, unsolicited? Undo?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't.
Oh gosh, show me, you know.
Every single YouTuber out there, if you go and search them, you'll find they made a video talking about how much hate they receive, and it's undo and all this, and that's because that's every single video. I mean, every single video everywhere, half of the comments are usually hate, unless you know you're a big person, it's just your own channel, then okay. But if not, and I mean, then thinking that that's exceptional is just quite ridiculous.
Man, after YouTube changed a lot of their regulation and stuff, a lot of hateful comments don't get even
yeah, maybe
posted.
some don't make
overwhelmingly, I think.
But anyway, you combine it with here and there, Twitter and Instagram. I mean, it's a lot of comments are hateful. I mean, that's for sure the case. Now, maybe rightly even so too, or like, let's say, overly critical or negative or something. But the idea that this is exceptional is what really, you know, I'm like,
yeah, exceptional, or like considering what she has said.
Yeah, on top of that,
undeserved.
Yeah, on top of that, if you are single, like she'll say any minute if we listen to now, if you think you're singled out more than the other like 6 people who were on that show, that's because I mean I didn't watch their stuff as much as I've seen her. I would be surprised if they're, you know, as vocal and attacking or in that sense as she is, you know, and offensive. But which is good, but you know, offensive as in going on the offense.
Oh, man, I think she says a lot of offensive as
and
in
that too, even that.
shit.
But even if you don't say that, of course you're gonna get singled out and commented more and all that.
Sure. And I love the fact that these people, man, they want the credits of we are fighting against the white patriarchy.
Yeah,
and
but then don't say anything bad to me.
Oh my god, the comments.
So then it's not a fight.
I'm getting undue policing online. I'm facing undue policing online. Oh, I'm so sorry. They are just such babies, man. I swear to God. You know what though? This made sense for me from the past, like all this. You remember she went on Bad Faith and she said, when I was a kid, I went to some racist kid's house to watch a movie.
That story, I remember that story.
Swear, do you remember? I said that kid was probably like, hey, Olayemi, do you want to watch Top Gun at our house? And like, because like he had like a military jacket or something as a kid, she's like, oh, that racist kid invited me to watch that racist movie, like Top Gun or something. So, I think they live in a world, man, because they need to feel prosecuted. You know, that's just, I don't know. It is complete bullshit.
Yeah. Now,
undo.
Based on seeing her own views and all this on her own channel, which is 32,000 subscribers, and I'm sure she hasn't been doing this for so long. I think her quitting that podcast, whatever it was and doing more her own stuff is definitely a good idea. So at the end,
for her, for sure. Yeah, because that way she can stay in her cul-de-sac too, with being on this whole fucking group therapy sessions they have. She was exposing herself to, now she can go back to a cul-de-sac where all the black people are being prosecuted because they made blah 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 blah. It's just, I told you I watched that show where she has with 6 other black people. Yeah, and it's all that, man. It's unbelievable. It's all like, you know, it's almost like they are living in a like a elevated plane to rest of us, and they're, you know, commenting. Unbelievable.
Man, the surf guy has a small channel, 69,000. For the
I
thought he had way more, or does he have other channels?
I don't know. I don't think he does. It's just I went through it because of the algorithm showed me a lot of videos of him too. All the videos about him are just him getting owned in different debates. He's a complete idiot.
But is he not a good guy? Is he not? Is he not naive? He's not naive though, or
I don't know, man. Everybody who's seen him for a while says that not only he's a stupid, he's also malicious.
Really?
So no, I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, he's
I don't
stupid,
know.
and it does seem like he's. But I was gonna ask you, what
the
the
few
fuck
videos
is in the water in Canada? Like he's a complete oh, you said her name with a bad tone. I believe the tone you used in that.
But is he being naive, or is he being like, or is he trying to stir shit up?
Say
because okay, the only reason I think I have a good image of him is because of the first impression that he made, which is, remember Richard Wolff, the econ professor? He had the debate with
Destiny.
With this, like the grossest human being I've ever seen.
No.
He was the guy. He was like the middleman, right? He would like come in and like talk nice. So based on that impression, I was left with okay. I mean, compared to that in that scenario, he just came off as, I was just like, this is like a goofball.
No, man, I'm forgiving Destiny for that, because the rabbit hole that YouTube went me through was Destiny versus him, and he's a complete
Destiny
piece
versus
of shit.
him, okay. But
versus Surf. Yeah. No, they had a whole history. I think the reason maybe he was rude to Richard Wolff was this piece of shit moderating. Because just complete two-faced cunt, like a complete social climber. Like somebody who's
YouTube social climber.
Yeah, like a goody two-shoes social climber. Somebody who would be friends with the teachers at the school or some shit.
Yeah, no, man, this is but in that there's such a funny thing, man. YouTube moderator, I moderate YouTube debates. Maybe I should.
Oh yeah, oh my god,
to make
man.
that my thing. Imagine you should like make a website where you put a price, 1 hour moderation, $100. Any kind of YouTube debate. Okay, what's the topic? Okay. All right, let's go. Just
I'm
put in the middle of the most.
I need a 2 minutes brief.
Yeah, what's the topic again? Has to do with soap. Okay.
It's unbelievable, man. That's really funny you say that, because I was watching a discussion between him and Destiny, and then the shit they say, it's just I don't even understand. He was like, man, I lost 3 mods and thousands of subscribers because of that. I'm like, mods? You can lose them? You can own them? What, have we brought the slavery back? What is going on? What is going on? Anyway,
yeah.
Truly awful human being. Oh, like I don't know. They make the racist people almost look like the old-fashioned racists, like the white racists, They make them see. Okay, I understand where you come from now.
No, but this Destiny guy was not gonna play a video of his, but he was just so. I'll never forget the way he was talking and how rude he was.
He's a rude piece of shit, but I prefer a rude piece of shit to a two-faced, virtue signaling cunt like the Surf any day.
Okay, Sam. So we're going to move on to PBD, Patrick Bet Davis, or whatever.
Assyrian.
But first, we forgot about this video, and I mean, this video I think can be just treated standalone. So I mean, I would just watch 30 seconds, a minute, and then we can just. I found it to be hilarious, but
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
When people find out that my husband is white, I oftentimes hear a combination of, you are gonna have the cutest mixed babies, and they're gonna have like big curly hair. They might have like light blue eyes. Hashtag team light skin. Well, hey, could you get out of my uterus? Thank you. This makes me really uncomfortable. And I've even heard people say like, oh, I really want to have mixed kids, you know, when they find out that my husband is white. Side note, not all biracial people are a mix of black and white. There are so many different types of mixes that don't even include white people, like two people of color. But of course, speaking as a black woman that's in a relationship with a white dude, that's the perspective that I'm coming at this topic.
By the way, Sam, I have more right in this conversation. I can really have full rights because
no, you don't.
Because if I have kids with my wife, there will be mixed race kids, and as she said, all mixed race kids are not just black and white. And I think an Iranian Persian, and with like Brazilian with German and Portuguese background. Oh, true, but yeah.
We established last week you're white. So it's over. It's over. You're all white unless we are black. So
no, she made that side note. So I'll be coming in for him. But I mean, listen, if you're gonna dissect every little bullshit, this is the nicest take I can have, which is like
no, man, play more, play more. Play a bit more.
So please take that into account. So this idea that being partially white is somehow more attractive or more desirable basically says that blackness is not attractive or desirable, and that's messed up because I'm not biracial and I'm cute as hell. When people say these types of things, generally speaking, I think they're coming from a good place, but it's important to remember.
Yeah, and it's important to remember as you say that. I mean, man, people just say nonsense stuff, and this is not even a bad thing to say, really. But like, if you're gonna break down everybody's comments like that, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's my nicest take that I can give. That's like my nice take, which is like, are you? What do you want people to say? Oh, you have a mixed baby, so ugly. I'm really not looking for. Yeah, no shit. Don't show them to me.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, the baby's born 8 months. Yeah, after that, I don't want to see you again.
You're mixing ethnicity. That feels wrong. That what reaction you want them
or
to
just
have?
nothing. Good. You're having baby.
Good.
Good baby. Baby good.
Good baby.
Baby human? Might be problematic. Because that means that some babies might not be good. Therefore, some babies are bad. Okay.
Yeah. No, man.
Baby.
What if? I mean, these people. She's saying basically at this point, if somebody tells you she's having a baby and her husband or her wife is from a different ethnic background than they are, if you say, oh my God, it's going to be cute because it's going to have the features of the both ethnicities, that's kind of racist, and that's kind of saying the black people are ugly or whatever. But the fact that she's dating and probably married, I don't know, she's having a baby with a white guy, full-on white guy, that's not racist. I think you should go fuck a black guy before you come here talk about racism. You piece of shit. Man, these people are unbelievable. Who the fuck
is? I mean, I don't know who else makes such a video. I mean, this is one of those videos where you have to turn the comments off because you just know that
it wasn't. Do you remember when I sent it to you? It wasn't off.
No, it wasn't even then. I mean, it's an old video anyway, but
is it? Oh, yeah, it was the first thing I searched though. I thought it was recent.
Yeah, no, but it has huge like the views because of course, forensics. But I mean, Jesus, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, and as you said, not all mixed race babies are black and white. And of course, this comes, I mean, from the thing that, which is kind of, I mean, as different as two people are, right? They tend to like their kids can have quote unquote nicer features. And if you're just close enough to the point where you come brother and sister, then you might have problems with your kids. So I don't know if that scientific background plays a role.
Well, that's that's the thing with interbreeding. Actually, if people pay attention, interbreeding within families usually leads to either super hot people or complete like genetic defects. So you never know.
Yeah. So, I mean, but my first take is just like, who the hell do you think? I mean, what are you saying? If you applied that standard to every statement that someone made, and against this is my nice comment, and you broke everything down,
she's just fine. She's found a niche of going online and confirming, oh, when I went to the shop today and somebody said, oh, wait a moment, they said it with that tone because I'm from this ethnicity. If I was from a different ethnicity, it's just everything. You're constantly prosecuted.
And like she said, she's cute as hell, right? Those are her own, I think, words. So I'm quoting
Yeah.
them. So yeah, so a lot of treatment she received is probably more on the good side.
Oh
But
yeah, that. Oh, by the way, if black, white, yellow, what else do we have? Red, blue,
not brown
purple.
anymore, apparently. I'm gonna reclaim this. I'm getting
Brown.
I'm gonna reclaim
Brown
this
is
brown
a yeah,
label.
brown.
From now on,
Nobody.
I'm gonna start speaking Farsi
It's
everywhere.
fucking no, yeah, exactly. This fucking no man. You know again
I'm
whose
getting
fault is it?
forgotten here.
Fucking
Erasing my
Muslims.
background.
No, man, it's fucking Muslims, man. Islamophobia, Islamophobia. Your fucking stupid ideology deserves to be feared. Okay, and instead of
What does
having
that have to
brown
do with this?
phobia,
Oh,
no, because instead of having what
No, that
was
exists
actually
too.
happening, no, Sikhs, for example, were getting attacked in America, but they call that was another example of Islamophobia. And so that's an example of Islam. That's like, they hate brown people. Don't you fucking get it? It's like, oh, anyway.
Anyways.
But yeah, I hate. Yeah, it's fucking. These are the true. What do you call them? What was the name for them? People merged like it was like, their race something. But these people like they make money out of basically racism. That's what they do.
But let's move on to Patrick. First question is Patrick is PBD white or not white?
BPD.
PBD. Is he white or not?
BPD, borderline personality disorder. That's what they are suffering.
Is this gentleman on the screen here? Is he white or not? Yes or no question.
He's not. No, he's
Yeah.
not. Apparently, in Iranian sort of vernacular, Assyrians are not like what they're more like they're Arab sort of thing. So apparently, so.
But yeah, I'd have to ask a few other people where they fall.
Yeah, I think yeah. Well, I think now he's white. Now that he's in America, he's white.
Yeah, you think yeah?
Yeah, I think so. He's just. I think, to be honest, in America, would be classified as a Floridian because of the sunlight that has clearly burnt his skin. He's the most tanned man ever.
But yeah, what is this about?
So you don't know anything about Anthony Weiner?
No, except what I've seen in this video, and I know the things that you were talking about, Hillary's servers and all this, but I didn't know that it had to do something with him getting them out.
If I'm not mistaken, he was the mayor of New York or senator for New York or something. Yes, yes, and he was successful.
Not when I lived in New York.
No, I don't.
Okay, so he is an American former who served as U.S. representative. Okay, so he was a congressman for 12 years.
But more importantly, he was married to Homa Abedin. Homa Abedin was the.
I must have knew it that this story had something to do with Iran. That's why you knew it so well.
No, Homa Abedin is of Pakistani origins.
Oh, okay.
You fucking racist. You racist. Just because she's called Homa and Abedin, which is basically my family, my mother's side's family, same family name. But anyway, Homa Abedin was a top advisor to Hillary Clinton, like her second hand, closer to her. I think one time Hillary actually said Homa is like a daughter I've never had, and she has a daughter called Chelsea, which was a bit awkward. So at any rate, he was caught number of times sexting teenage girls.
Underage girls, or not
I think
underage?
underage,
or creepily young for his age.
I think both. I think originally it was the creepy thing, but then it became legal underage thing. There was one which really shocked me, which was this was after because they were already separated and he was already caught once, all of this, and then they had another picture of him went viral with him sending a dick pic with at that time his child which was a baby on the bed. So the bed was like the child is on the bed over there like a baby, and then he's sending dick pics to. It was unbelievable. These people are true scum. I mean, we're talking about true scum here. And then after that, he had to after all of that, Abedin has not yet divorced them, by the way.
No, now they have, right? No, he said he's divorced.
No, they're separated.
They're
separated, I thought. He said we're separated but co-parenting.
Yeah. I thought he said divorce but co-parenting, but yeah, maybe, yeah.
I recently there were reports they might be amending or something. I don't know. But it seems that even from sexual perversion convictions, you can come back. So he's having his own podcast and he's on radio. He's on radio right now. But then you have that psychopath, David. David?
PBD.
Patrick. Yeah, Patrick.
BP.
Patrick. Yeah, Patrick. Patrick June. Patrick June. Patrick, man, this motherfucker should have stayed in Iran. He would have become like he's so Iranian.
But he's incredibly successful there too.
No, sure, but just it's a shame we lost that. I mean, I'm using the term shame ironically. That's he's like, yeah. So Anthony Weiner, you did a great job defending Hillary. You did a fantastic job defending Hillary. Now, you have a reputation. You have a reputation for texting underage girls. I have a reputation for being a psycho. She has a reputation for... now, this motherfucker, man, he wants to ask one question. He goes through a whole book.
Oh, yeah.
It takes him 8 minutes. And after the 8-minute mark, he basically asks the stupidest question from Anthony Weiner, which is why Clintons have a reputation for killing people. So you could ask, by the way, why Clintons are mentioned in the killing of this person. How come this person died so conveniently then or something? No. I'm going to ask the most general idiotic way. I'm gonna put this question: why do they have a reputation? Everybody has a reputation for a reason, man. When there is a smoke, there is a fire, man. Fucking dumbass.
No, I mean he's funny because his style is. It gets me confused. Like when I'm listening
Iranian
to
it, style. It's Iranian
I forget what
style.
he's talking about, and then the question kind of links to what he said, and you're not even too sure if he's liking what he's talking about or if he's not. I don't know. I just get so lost in his questions.
He put the question in only way that makes Clintons defensible because he puts it all together, and you're like, they are 90,000 years old. Of course, everybody knows has died, and they were involved in politics. People like, what do you think? And then the best part, why he's like, why doesn't the Bushes have such a reputation? There's a book called The Family of Secrets about the Bush family.
Because they have a worse
unbelievable
reputation.
They have a much worse.
I mean, I'm all for hating on Hillary and Bill,
Clinton.
But let's just not get ridiculous. Why is there nothing on Hitler? Wait, no.
And then, man, he's just he's so Iranian in his debating style. Like in the middle of it, he's like, you are a dark man. You are a dark man. You went there. You are a really dark man. And then in the middle of asking a question, throwing a shades at you is such a Iranian thing. That he's like, you live your lifestyle like you have things associated with your lifestyle, but I respect you. But I respect you. You just called me a fucking pervert, and now you're like, yeah, you respect me. God,
funny.
Play a little, man, out of these two unbelievable psychos.
Why did you pull Ron Brown? Here, let me read Ron Brown. Ron Brown, a Commerce Secretary who a plane crashed while he was on a humanitarian mission, crashed on the side of a mountain. So what do you want to know about Ron Brown? What do you want to know about Ron Brown?
Can you let me ask the question?
No, listen, this is a conversation.
No.
We're having a conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm the host. You invite me to your podcast. You get to ask the question. I'm the host. I'm going to ask you the question. You haven't let me answer the question.
I didn't see
your reaction is already an answer.
I know. I am infuriated by people who drag other people's name who are powerless. You're not powerless.
Hillary Clinton is powerless?
No, these people.
Hillary Clinton is powerless. These people. That's the problem.
These people.
Hillary's the problem.
You read a list of people because you have the power to do it. People who do that are bullies, and I don't appreciate bullies.
have the power to do what?
You do. To read a list of some stranger's
names.
names.
To use the DOJ and other things to control and hide things?
That's not DOJ.
Yeah.
DOJ didn't make this list.
Let me finish up my question.
Some jackass made a list in his basement.
You have the right to
You're
answer.
reading their names as if they're incriminating in some way.
You have the right to
That's
answer.
bullying, and I don't appreciate. And I stand up against bullies.
Please do so.
He hasn't even asked a question yet.
Bullying, thank you.
And he's refused. And now he says, "Let's move on."
No.
Because I set your answer.
He's anti-bullying, but pro underage sex.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Reading
and you get
a
to
list
answer
of people who
or
probably
not answer.
And there are some of those people that had military titles in front of them, and you're dragging their name.
That's even the point.
You're dragging their name
That's
through
even the point.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Because their families would want to know.
Because you've got a podcast.
Some of their
you can
families
read
would want to know.
Some conspiracy theory podcast, some conspiracy theory that 9 people read. You find some guy that comes in, and then you go from Ron Brown to some obscure officer that used to protect Bill Clinton, who passed away. May he rest in peace for his service.
This guy's so lame, man. Nobody buys this kind of stuff.
May all of them rest in peace.
Which
so
one?
here's the question for you.
Weiner?
Because millions of people are not convinced Hillary Clinton is a good
It takes 8 minutes. At 8 minutes, he asks.
If you want to do that, I'm not
put the questions
I'm
in
not
your
worried
own.
about.
Don't try to make it about some bozo who put up a website. Put in your own words.
Here's a question for you, guy. It's a very simple question for you. So,
the question for you, guy. New Jersey.
When you think about other candidates, okay? Everybody has a stereotype. You have a reputation whether you like it or not. What's your reputation? Your reputation is you like to text underage girls and you like to talk to girls and you sending pictures of your dangling. That's your reputation. Whatever you do, you can't do anything about it.
I mean, that's not
That's what we call it.
Adam is
That's
a
we
playboy
call
in
him in
Miami.
Tehran dingling.
Trust me, I'm getting back to it. Tom's got a reputation. His reputation is a man who
And right now,
loves
your
his wife,
reputation is listing strangers who
I-
served in the
I-
military.
I have a reputation.
Tom is like, don't
Like,
These are not reputations. These are just like statements of facts that have just happened. Your reputation is that you ate dinner. That's not.
You send a picture of your dingling. Your dingling. Oh my God. No, but the best part is go to the full interview. I think I sent you the link for the full interview, which is 1 hour and a half. It's in their channel. Go to just Google it. I guess it's Anthony Weiner full interview PBD. By the end of the interview, they end up kind of becoming friends. Which is very hilarious. This. Go to the very end.
5 years. The fact
Like how?
we may not agree on a lot, okay?
Here.
We may not agree
Perfect
on a lot,
time.
and your choice of lifestyle is different than the way I live. But
All
if
right,
I looked at you,
I consider that a shot. I
No,
mean, don't.
Anthony. I'm just.
I don't think any of us should be judged. Any of us should be judged that way. I haven't looked at your phone. I'm not like whatever it is. I have come clean. I have come clean about a private thing you know about me that is embarrassing.
You're not going to let me finish my point.
All right, but that's the 3rd time you've done that little kind of thing.
But by the way,
I
I 40 times
not
what
very
you did
welcoming.
when in the middle of me asking you a question, you interrupted me for the entire time I was trying to finish my question.
You have some long questions, you got to admit.
Well, you can say that after I'm done asking a question, but here's what I was going to say to you. Watching you take all the other stuff away, you don't belong on radio. You do not. You do not belong on radio. You belong with a camera. You don't belong on radio. So I don't know what you're doing.
I do a different kind of show. You got to listen to my show.
Yeah.
It's not this tone. It's not like this. It's very conversational. Like I take callers, they yell at me a little bit
It's not
sometimes.
friendly like this
but
one,
usually,
like easy-going
no,
type
listen,
of thing. This is
I have
like
to tell you,
chill.
He was actually paying you a compliment.
you guys are going to
Anthony.
walk away. You guys are going to walk away and say, "We knew that was a jackass." I'm going to walk away and say, "Listen, that was kind of, it was interesting. Like I haven't done that in a while."
We're not going to say it. We're going to say this was an interesting conversation.
But here's what I say. I am fascinated by. I mean, I was asking questions, not to like, oh my God, I'm so much smarter.
Anthony.
I want to understand all of this.
Take a guess how many people are watching live right now. Take a guess. Just live, not total views, because this will get millions of views.
800, I mean, is it over 1,000?
Take a guess. Give me a number.
Like we're watching 9 o'clock on a
Yes.
No, you don't give them that number. Right now, 15,000 people are watching live. But
is that a lot or little for
But
your
that's
show?
not a number.
That is pretty
That's
standard.
pretty average for us.
Who would be like a stream that, like, Tyson must have gotten a ton, right?
Well, but
Anthony, you're doing great.
Am I doing okay?
Here's the part for you to know. Just in the last 2 hours of being live, this is concurrent. We're at 15,000. The last 2 hours, It's 47,000 people.
Wow, that's
by the end of the day, it's going to be 300,000 people.
That's my entire show.
Yeah. So, anyways,
welcome
Anthony,
to the non-name.
Why did it sound like they went like through a 2-night bender, but they just did like an hour-and-a-half podcast? They seem like they went through a lot more together. You know, they spent like a weekend partying, and now they're leaving. That's the thing. After this experience, now I love you.
Again, man, that's the thing. No, man, that's like if you've again been to Iranian bazaar or stuff. This happens all. I told you the dollar has gone up. It's more expensive. They have this massive fight. By the end, one of them becomes the other one's manager. Okay, baby, if you listen to me. If you take your car to the North shop and then sell it there, you belong to the North. You belong to the North. That face. By the time he's giving him advice about his media career,
too funny, man.
It makes sense, I guess. They all belong with each other, kind of. Too good, right?
Yeah, this is interesting.
But yeah, to be honest, there's not much else.
But hold on. The Hollywood strike. Wait, I have a question for you. I mean, this I don't mind skipping it. But the Hollywood, So the Hollywood one, it's kind of interesting. He takes like a position where it's like pro studio though, but like also like acknowledging, I guess, some of the reasons why people are striking. You know, I mean, I just find that with the Hollywood strikes, some people at least, it seems to be much less bashing than you would imagine of like when there's usually a strike and people are so like
because I guess they know probably.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume.
No, for sure. I mean, he talks about people he tried booking who couldn't come on his show anymore.
James Woods, which is Jesus.
Anyway,
but I mean,
no takes on this. It's still, you haven't changed your.
It's not it's kind of like, it's not it is an issue that does get it's not, talked about much more than it deserves, I think.
Yeah.
But it's, I hope they succeed.
Yeah. Okay. I guess.
I mean, I'm hoping to work in Hollywood, so I hope they succeed for sure. The better.
And I mean, this conversation is so stupid that I don't actually know what their disagreements are. I mean, I'm sure if you listen, there are, but I didn't. Trump and this and that. They're disagreeing, but it's really unclear. I mean, on what? But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't listen to this. I did listen. This was, this was all about like why didn't DeSantis came to our friend's show? Their friend had a thing, Turning Point USA or something. And it was the good thing politically a strategy that just nobody cares, man. Like there's this event apparently, Turning Point or something, that like these psycho conservatives go to, but he didn't go anywhere. It's like, do you think if Michael didn't showing up to our house party, do you think that means that he's out of the gang now?
Too funny.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Alrighty, Sam. So let's move on to Lex Fridman, our new discovery. Lex Fridman, I've seen as many videos of him that we've spoken on this podcast. It's like start off with one, then the next week we watch 2. Now we're watching 4, and then coming up. So I've seen a minute more of everything that we've seen together. Like
in a couple of weeks, we're gonna be on Lex Fridman show next week. Next, ask him this.
No, but man,
next.
Every single one has been as ridiculous as the next, with his romantic, deep, geographical, political questions. If we got them together tipsy, Putin and Biden, do you think?
Let's
listen with some good wine, good Bordeaux, good wine, Bordeaux. Right? Some cheese, maybe,
Look, we put. Grapes. I came up with the greatest strategy. We bring the Muslim leaders, and we bring the Israeli leader, and then we do sort of like we in a hotel room we do a sort of there was a mistake, you were booked in each other's rooms, and then they have to switch, and then you think that could possibly change the calculations on the ground in Palestine? Do you think that's possible?
Just too funny, man.
He's too good, man. He's too. But then again, though, I wish he, instead of doing interviews, I hope him and you all know Harari, they do a show together forever. Just discussing different issues, like aliens. How many aliens are there? What kind of aliens there are? Next week, maybe we can move on to fruits.
Okay, this is the best one though to start. I think this one gives the best taste of how the conversations will go.
This just made me think. That book I read, and I thought a couple of facts in it, or at least, I've mentioned a couple of facts about the book he's written to other people about the Neanderthal shit that he's written. Now I am doubting I feel like a fool. But yeah, play this.
To him, it's all an idea anyway.
Yeah, well.
Can you just speak to the mechanism of how humans start to believe ideas? Is there something interesting to say there from your thinking about
anything? Just give me something.
Like how idea is born and how it takes hold and how it spreads and how it competes with other ideas.
First of all, ideas are an independent force in history. Marxists tend to deny that. Marxists think that all history is just a play of material interests. And ideas, stories, they are just a smokescreen to hide the underlying interests. My thoughts are to some extent the opposite. We have some biological objective interests that all humans share, like we need to eat,
just the arrogance.
We need to drink, we need to breathe. But most conflicts in history are not about that. The interests which really drive most conflicts in history don't come from biology.
Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, but most conflicts don't come. That part with the biology, we need water.
Let's just please go 30 seconds back and play just this part, because this is just the problem.
We have some biological objective interests that all humans share, like we need to eat, we need to drink, we need to breathe. But most conflicts in history are not about that. The interests which...
Okay, Marxist, liberal, conservative, Muslim, Jew, Christian, Buddhist, whoever says that to you, dumbass. Just complete dumbass. What did you
nobody
think
even says that. But
no
nobody
one
even
says that.
said
That's the thing. No Marxist, liberals, I've never heard. Maybe some religious sects are that stupid.
No, of course, and he's being naive. And he's being naive. It's not that all wars are, of course, if they don't go to war, you can't have the basic necessity to survive. But I mean, that's that's not the only thing that's defined as interest. Not everything else, but basic survival.
Not
just
interest.
Ideology.
He's not talking about interest. He's talking about materials.
But for him, he limits material though to literally like water, air, and food, and then it's like everything else is idea, which is like not true. If I have a big land, I know I don't need a big land to live, but at the same time, that big land is not, ideology.
So does he think like the German barbarians were attacking Rome over, like what idea exactly? What was the what was the idea that
I'm sure if you bring up the Iraq war, if you bring up the Iraq war or something, right? Oh, he does actually. Yeah, he says, that's not about water, air, and energy. That's about like water, air, and food. No, but differently. But he classifies that as something different. Let's hear him. He'll get there.
Let's hear the whole video.
Most conflicts in history don't come from biology. They come from religions and ideologies and stories. So it's not that stories.
Yes, I do. I say that.
Smokescreen to hide the real interests. The stories create the interests in the first place. The stories define who are the competing groups. Nations, religions, cultures, they are not biological entities. They are not like species, like gorillas and chimpanzees. No. Israelis and Palestinians, or Germans and French, or Chinese and Americans, they have no essential biological difference between them. The difference is cultural. It comes from stories. There are people that believe in different stories. The stories create the identity. The stories create the interests.
Stories come out of thin air.
But what are those stories exactly shaped on? I mean, man, that was like, you know, if someone is just listening, like, yeah, he's being, very smart, but he's just saying the world's dumbest thing. You know, if somebody else comes and says to you, water is for drinking, you won't be impressed. But I mean, countries are not like gorillas. I was gonna push back on that, but now that I think about it, like, that's fair enough. Fair enough. My bad.
Maybe he's.
How about a rabbit though? A state is like a rabbit. Give me that. At the very, like a province, is that a rabbit? Yes or no?
Maybe they are not like a single animal, like a parent
like
of
two
animals.
rabbits. Two rabbits makes a town. Okay, fine.
I would love to see discussion between him, and I think that discussion has already happened between him and Jordan Peterson.
Oh my god!
So it's gonna become the clash of the century. Like, but the lobster is just like man. No. Lobster is nothing like man. Listen to me.
And it's nothing like a spoon either. Okay, fine. That'll give it to you. But lobster is still like a man. Or man is like a lobster. You see, depends how you think about it.
Yeah, I think. Yes, depends.
Palestinians are fighting over Jerusalem, not because of any material interest.
Home is not material interest. That's the thing. He gives such a bullshit definition.
Oil fields under Jerusalem, and even oil. You need it to realize some cultural fantasy. It doesn't really come from biology. So the stories are.
I'm sorry. What?
No, he makes he uses this biology bullshit thing to then from that derive that that means that everything else is a story.
Your car is running on imagination. Do you know that? Your car is running on imagination.
But like I said, he doesn't get it's not like people are like, oh yeah, it doesn't seem too positive, the comments. And of course, stories that was made after the fact,
But this is too funny.
And even there's even people defending Marxism in here.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not even look, man. I like recently realized I don't even like Marxism that much.
No,
it's just,
for
I like
sure.
materialist analysis, and the only people who seem to at least pretend to do materialist analysis are Marxists. But this is just beyond. I don't know if you're familiar with. I'm pretty sure you're not, to be honest. Neil Gaiman. But this is just Neil, like he's like a shitty version. Neil Gaiman writes books and comic books, and he's a very famous author. But his whole shtick is the same. That stories are what connects us, and stories.
And again, stories are such a big part. And they're used to define stuff, but he actually switches things around. He doesn't say that stories are used to to spin things and say why he did something. He actually says like the story comes first. And then
it does seem like that, and
on it. I mean, pretty sure.
And then examples he uses, like if he was talking about, like, let's say, maybe at this point the Northern Irish conflict, maybe he could have, okay, there is Christians, and
of course that's a big part too.
But Palestine. Where they actively lands physical material being stolen, and it's like, no, Palestinians, there is no oil fields on. Nobody's talking about oil fields, motherfucker. Give us the land.
And again, of course, ideas and culture and ideology. I would agree with him a lot more if he didn't take it to such an extreme dumb way. If he had just, he just takes it to the extreme point, which makes him.
But play all of this because it gets to Marxist liberalism, and
now, why do people believe one story and not another? That's history. There is no materialistic law. People will always believe this. No, history is full of accidents. How did Christianity become the most successful religion in the world? We can't explain it. So why this story about Jesus of Nazareth, and not the Roman Empire in the 3rd century CE was a bit like, I don't know, California today, like so many sects and subsects and gurus and religions. Like everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
And you have, thousands of different stories competing. Why did Christianity come up on top? As a historian, I don't have a kind of clear answer. You can read the sources and you see how it happened. Oh, this happened, and then this happened, and then Constantine adopted it, and then this, and then this. But why? I don't think anybody has an answer to that. If you rewind the movie of history and press play, and you rewind and press play 100 times, I think Christianity would take over the Roman Empire in the world maybe twice out of 100 times. It was
Those are not
such
bad
an
odds.
unlikely thing to happen. It's the same with Islam.
They are.
It's the same, I don't know, with the communist takeover of Russia. In 1914, if you told people that in 3 years, Lenin and the Bolsheviks will gain power in the Tsarist empire, they would think you're utterly crazy. Lenin had a few thousand supporters in 1914 in an empire of close to 200 million people.
It's unbelievable.
An academic or someone should not be allowed to speak this much. Like someone should come and take his.
Is he academic? Yeah. No, if he teaches history, actually.
Like you shouldn't be allowed to speak this much nonsense. A little bit nonsense, okay.
And the little steps along the way, the little options you have along the way, because Stalin versus Trotsky, you could have the Robert Frost poem. There's always you always come to,
and history often takes there is a highway and there is a kind of
that makes
sideway,
sense.
And history takes
Why
sideways
many
times.
And it's perhaps tempting to tell some of that history through charismatic leaders, and maybe it's an open question how much power charismatic leaders have to affect the trajectory.
It's getting amazing.
Quite a lot of charismatic leaders lately. I mean, what's your view on that?
I find it a compelling notion. I'm a sucker for a great speech and a vision. So I have a sense that there's an importance for a leader to catalyze the viral spread of a story. So I think we need leaders to be just great storytellers. That kind of sharpen up the story to make sure it infiltrates everybody.
I'm just going to mute while I make this comment quickly. It's just that
pause because he asks his question again.
Okay, let's just watch it then.
The local interactions between humans is even more important. But it's just we don't have a good way to sort of summarize that and describe that. We like to talk about, Steve Jobs as central to the development of the computer, maybe Bill Gates, and you tell it to the stories of individuals like this, because it's just easier to tell a sexy story that way.
Maybe it's an interplay because you have the kind of structural forces.
Oh, sorry, I thought he's going to talk about the handshake.
I know you look at the geography of the planet, and you look at shipping technology in the late 15th century in Europe and the Mediterranean, and it's almost inevitable that pretty quickly somebody will discover America. Somebody from the old world will get to the new world. So this was not a kind of, if it wasn't Columbus, then it would have been 5 years later somebody else. But
yeah, sure.
The key thing about history is that these small differences make a
really
huge
stupid
difference. If it wasn't Columbus, if it was 5 years later somebody from England, then maybe all of Latin America today would be speaking English and not Spanish. If it was somebody from the Ottoman Empire, it's completely different world history. If you have, the Ottoman Empire at that time was also shaping up.
Man, listen, we're here talking nonsense, so that's fine. But I just hope out there in the world there's nobody listening to that conversation and thinking it's anything up beyond nonsense. I mean, this is the same conversation as two wasted people at a bar at 3 a.m. Their conversation would be much less
much more nuanced
than
much more nuanced.
I mean, this is just pure nonsense. He's just pure nonsense.
This idiot does not know that Columbus discovered America and a Spanish empire would go on to at least de jure, technically, rule over all of South America and most of North America, and then England, a backward. All of these things, there's a material explanation for it. Why British, English, came out to dominate the North America and South America. And the idea that, for example, if an Ottoman got shipped there first, and now, okay, it's all Turkish. It's all Turkish now. They're going to talk Turkish. The Ottoman Empire fell apart within the next, like, Jesus, what a dumbass. And he's
Sam,
a
if you
professor.
cooked an egg instead of cooking a steak, you would get a much different meal. So all these little things make a big difference. You know, if I stay at my
And
house
now I
until
would have
1,
been Brad Pitt.
instead of I stay at my house until 6 p.m., it will make big difference, you know. If I have 8 kids instead of 2, it make big difference. Okay, nobody's denying any of these things. I mean,
No, man. I am denying the like the idea.
or even
that,
to that, yeah, of course that too.
you know,
But at the same time, just what it's saying is just so stupid. And
it's unbelievable. But
yeah,
I thought this is the video, but I thought this is the video, but it's not. It's probably another one of the videos I have. Where did you see Lex talked about the power of conversation? Maybe go to the other videos we have.
I mean, he talks about that shit. He's probably here.
Oh, here, yeah, no, it's here.
Russia and Ukraine, this part of the. So if we apply those ideas, the ideas of this part of the world, to another part of the world that's currently in war, Russia and Ukraine, from what you learned here, how do you think peace can be achieved in Ukraine?
Peace can be achieved any moment. It's motivation. In this case, it's just one person. Putin just needs
motivation.
to say, that's it. You know, the Ukrainians, they don't demand anything from Russia. Just go home. That's the only thing they want.
He hasn't been sleeping well recently, so he's just not motivated. As soon as he gets a good night's sleep,
just tell the Russians, go home. That's it. And of course, again, motivation. How do you get somebody like Putin to admit that he made a colossal mistake?
Diet, celery juice,
ethical mistake, a political mistake.
Starts from the childhood, really.
This is very, very difficult. But in terms of what would the solution look like? Very simple. The Russians go home. End of story.
Do you believe in the power of conversation between leaders to sit down as human beings and agree? First of all, what home means, because
but he's laughing himself. Is he finding himself stupid?
I believe in the power of conversation. The big question to ask is where. Where do conversations?
And then he says, "Yes, I believe power of."
One of the interesting things to ask about any conflict, about any political system, is where do the real conversations take place? And very often they don't take place in the places you think they are. But think.
The local bars. That's where.
No, that's the thing. Stupidest question ever. And then he just. No, yeah, I believe in power of conversation, but you forgot about something more important: the location of it.
Will there be food or not?
Who's doing the catering?
Stimulates conversation. A few
true.
shots.
If it's open bar, I promise you, we're gonna get a couple of peace deals. But if it's closed bar, there might be a war starting after that.
No, the secret is MDMA. You do, and they all come out friends.
LSD. Have you heard of ayahuasca?
Don't give them weed, because then they just get stoned and paranoid and go each in their own corners. So definitely we've tried
you don't know.
No, honestly, the best a few beers. It's reliable. Vodka and whiskey, hard liquor, then some people.
No, even beer, I feel, could lead to aggressiveness.
True. Yeah.
I think maybe start with weed and then glasses of wine. I feel.
But some people, weed just hits them so strong that I don't know.
I mean, it could lead to a couple of people sleeping before the peace deal is signed. Like Zelensky was ready to sign a deal, but he's passed out. He's passed out now. We can't do anything.
But yeah, alcohol, you're right. They might get into fights over something completely different.
We're talking about Russians and Ukrainians. So yes, I think there is a good chance. And there is you can get so close to a peace deal and then hot chicks walks by and then now we are back to fighting.
But yeah.
Man. This guy though, what a job. What a niche.
Romanticizing politics. The first
it's like the high-end version of Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan in a suit, basically. That's what's going on here. Well done. Well done. Truly.
No, man, Joe Rogan.
Aye.
I don't know if you wanted. Yeah, so there's the alien one that they talk a bit.
Oh, if you want to play a bit, I forget which part was
I forgot
hilarious,
which one.
but I'm
what
sure.
they say exactly here too,
but yeah, not too important. I'm sure it's like watching two stupid people trying to top each other, basically. Like the last question.
No.
Do you think how many aliens are out there? He says maybe aliens are already here. I said, yeah, just complete. You are stupid? No, I'm doubly stupid. Okay, whatever.
Alrighty, Sam. So let's just wrap up with a few videos, including starting with another RFK Jr. interview. I must admit, I'm all RFK Jr. interviewed out. I think everybody I know on YouTube have interviewed, except the Vanguard boys. Maybe they haven't had their shot yet, but they're on Team Marion, so not possible.
Yeah,
But where did the conversation go here?
I tell you what, those idiots are having Marianne back next week.
Keep on.
I mean,
I don't know how I can't get to
listen. They don't listen. We tried to
forget
help.
about her.
Too
Plenty
late.
of other
Too late.
fish out in the sea, other girls. How about my cousin? I'll introduce you.
She's thinking about running for US.
They've attached their name to the one politician out of all of them who's not doing much. Cornell, good. Or I mean, in terms of people being interested. RFK, Trump, no.
No, we're gonna go with the one lady who's burned all bridges. I don't know. But yeah, RFK, man, I have to say, I didn't know about this. Sadly, watching this interview, we have to come out now fully against RFK.
Oh, no.
He said, when they said that, he's anti-Jew and anti-Israeli because he was in that meeting where people were farting openly, and he said weapons are being Did you know about the farting part? Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, I swear to God, there was a part where somebody was talking about climate change or something, and somebody said, listen, that's what I think about climate change, and just release the big one, so to speak. So, and he said COVID may have, I mean, he implied, he didn't say, because he's a lawyer, he's very weaselly, he implied that there may have been weaponization of viruses and blah, blah, blah. One of the things he said, I'm against that $2 billion that Joe Biden is sending to Iran. I have the strongest position on IPAC. And even Max Blumenthal, man, has come out on Twitter and said that his position is more right-wing than both Democratic and Republican Party at this point.
Which is not surprising in the kind that starting to see more and more clearly exactly the target.
Yeah. To be honest, not what a loser.
Which is he's very I mean, the COVID thing, he keeps on going on and on about it, but I still think he's still giving himself enough of a chance that if Biden falls out, that the actual democratic system will have nobody else but to go for him. I think he hasn't burned that bridge yet. I don't know if he'll end up burning it, or in fact, since there's nobody else that I can see. If boom, Biden dies, who do we go with? I guess.
Yeah, man. I have a theory of what's going on, I think, with him on a larger scale, but I think you're 100% right.
He's leaving the door open.
Yeah, that for sure. And I think there are people who are backing him, David Sachs, that type of, digital, tech guys. I think they are going for privatizing healthcare for sure. Like that is like, this is a sort of a Trojan horse of theirs, as in, with this whole COVID, because he's not letting go of this COVID shit. And And he's letting go of every other thing. He's like, oh, poor people, maybe you can throw them under the bus, fuck them. But and I think that they are gonna go for this whole, well, everybody should do their own research. Well, the oil of a flower in your anus can be as powerful as acetaminophen or something. You know what I mean? This is the end game, by the way, with people who love democracy. And this is the end game with democracy. They end up, because institutions become corrupt, and then you have a populist like him coming on and oh, maybe we should get rid of FDA. What's the point of FDA anyway? Supplements market is operating okay. Nobody's dying in the supplements market. Why should we have these boards that decide what pills should we have? I mean, what is with this dictatorship? Why shouldn't people have the right to democratically research and elect whoever they want as their doctor?
But no, that's interesting, and you can definitely see some evidence of it here
India,
and there.
that's pretty much happened. That's in India, pretty much that's happened.
But I just wonder if he's really like thinking that long term, or he's being backed by people thinking that long term, 10, 15, 20 years, or it's just the COVID one is also a fact that, he's obsessed with that and it's been working, right? It's not like it's not working, right? It's been working. So, I mean, it's just his bread and butter and everything kind of, there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Maybe.
I'm going full conspiracy. But, no, you're right.
But it.
I take it all.
No, but it's it would support that kind of movement if if people are after that kind of further privatization of U.S. healthcare. What he says definitely is something that you can work with. It's kind of like you see like this saying like you should just do your own thing, kind of be allowed. There is good science, but the government is not using. Because he believes in science and all that too. Like, I mean, he'd probably like be anything like, oh no, he's always talking about peer-reviewed papers and all that. It's just the peer-reviewed papers that agree with his take.
So, papers that agree with his take.
Yeah, with his take. Yeah. So he is for like, I could see him making the argument being like, no, like science is good. It's just the government interference of it is not letting it go in the right directions. But, there is data,
you're right.
And in the private side and all this, we can provide a better, less biased, more objective,
No, just my point was that, yeah, you're 100% right, I think. No, I'm thinking too long term.
No, but I'm saying that what you're saying doesn't necessarily contradict that, and it's out there, but I just don't know if it's that well formed and strategized, that's all.
Exactly. And I would. The thing is, man, it's just reflection of, it's not that I'm pro-science. I think science is full of bullshit as well, as much as religion, at least. But it's just that completely institutions have been hollowed out, and I think the trend seems to be going towards increased degradation, which is kind of way at least when it comes to medicine and healthcare and all that. But yeah, maybe I'm thinking a bit too way too.
Yeah, you'll be dead by then, so don't.
Oh, that makes my heart just brighten up with joy. I'll be dead.
That's like a PBD kind of like, that kind of
that's true.
And I mean that in a good way. You won't suffer, you'll be dead, you won't be here.
And as you established in the previous segment, it's not like I'm gonna have children, so it's fine. It's fine. No. It's but he's also against that $2 billion Joe Biden is sending to Iran. As you know, Joe Biden is writing a personal check to Iran, $2 billion from a personal check from the account of the American public.
Account number 212, checking account called the American.
None of this is our own money that is owned to us by foreign government that is blocked because of banking regulations. It's all, it's like American people's money. We are from the pockets of you. We are stealing it. We are taking it. So yeah, he's just so establishment-y.
Yeah,
except
yeah.
the COVID
Yeah,
thing, and it's
exactly.
kind of it makes me go a bit conspiratorial, I suppose.
But okay, what do we have?
Let's move on to more funny stuff.
Geopolitics.
So play a little bit of this.
Russian pro-war blogger Igor Girkin has been arrested and charged with incitement to extremism. He was remanded in custody in Moscow on Friday, awaiting trial. Girkin was a vocal critic of Russian President Vladimir Putin and accused him of weakness and indecision in Ukraine. As a former military commander of the Donetsk People's Republic,
Putin's like, have you been reading the news or watching any of the channels out there? Just pick one. And you still think this, okay?
Are you sure about your views right now? Okay, all right. No. Well, I love the fact that after 2 weeks ago, Hot Dog rebelled against Putin. Now gherkins have risen up against him. All kinds of basically sandwich items are rising up against Kremlin. It seems next week we're gonna have tomatoes. Tomato, the leader of a separate region in eastern Ukraine, has criticized Putin. What is with these names? Gherkin? Is that a real name? I thought that's a vegetable item. Am I wrong? That's pickles. Am I wrong? But no, you're not sure. But yeah, this guy, man, it seems but it does seem the fact that he, as you mentioned, he had the balls to come out and criticize Putin after what happened with Wagner and all that. It does seem like seems to be a genuine, widespread unhappiness, and mostly from the right wing of Russia. So that's interesting. The trend is going to become. The trend is going towards Russia becoming more anti-West. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Any inputs? No, nothing.
No, nothing else.
Which salad item do you think is gonna rise up against Putin next? Do you put your
until it reaches the potato? It's okay.
It's okay. Potato is a side dish. Potato will always be with Putin. I'm just not sure if the next item is lettuce or if they go after if caramel's onion rises up, I'm out. I'm out.
And what happened here?
No, this one is actually Jesus Christ, man.
Really?
This what are our two other news stories?
It's just this and this.
Oh, okay, so that's okay. All right. In the UK, let me say this: they had a by-election, 3 by-elections out of the 6 that Rishi Sunak is facing.
Yeah.
And Conservatives actually didn't do as badly as they won one. They lost one to Lib Dems and they lost one to Labour. And Labour is immediately blaming on the very limited left that has remained. So they're blaming Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, for his sort of environmental policies about gas and stuff. And it's just so, I don't know what's gonna, man, UK, like I'm talking to normal people, like UK in the eyes of the people have become like, has the same like level right now as Botswana, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
you hear a lot of
like
complaints.
3 years. In 3 years, it's just I'm telling you, we need to bring Boris back. Nobody listens to me, but if
I guess it's inflation, they say things are getting very expensive or whatnot.
As opposed to before, because UK used to be one of the cheapest places on earth.
Good point. But yeah, no, I mean that's what I've been hearing too. I mean, a lot of complaints, I guess, whether it's on the internet or places about the UK. But again, that you would imagine those were all valid 10 years ago too. So I don't know where the uprise of it comes from. You're like, and any of this new, or are we just talking about historical problems?
The weather sucks too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we are aware.
Does it particularly suck now? I mean, like, has it gone to a new level?
Man, I don't know. Queen's death. I mean, I'm a huge King Charles supporter, but I feel like King Charles needs to step in. I think this democracy thing had a good run, but I think it's time to wrap things up, guys. I don't know. That's my input. But now let's go to our last story, and the most fucked up story I've heard in years.
Really?
Man, yeah, and another story which ties well into my again, this democracy thing. Can we just stop it, please? Because
let me hear what the
India.
story is.
Oh, you don't know at all? Okay,
No.
play a bit. It's
Manipur
very
took things
disgusting.
into their own hands today. Police say they pelted stones and set fire to the house of a suspect involved in rape. A video from May has emerged of a mob attacking two women and parading them naked. Too graphic to show here. Women also protested in Delhi. The opposition blocked proceedings in parliament. They want the top elected official of Manipur sacked, Biren Singh. He belongs to Narendra Modi's Hindu Nationalist Party. There are calls for a national debate and statement from the Prime Minister, who spoke to reporters about the incident.
Okay, I see. So, and I'm guessing you've kind of seen that video and all that.
The real story is actually that, well, in Manipur there are basically there are these people who live in mountains and hill people. I think they're called hill tribes or something, and they're mostly Christian or sort of Tengri, some kind of like old religion.
Yeah.
But the cities are all Hindu, and they all have problems because of they are the sort of affirmative action like policies. There are all these type of policies. Then, just 2 weeks ago, a video came out, and they showed DW. Everybody showed the video, but censored. And the video is, as you can imagine, the most disgusting thing I've ever came across. Two women paraded naked through the city. According to reports, one of them was gang raped. According to reports, two men of their family, when they intervened, they were one of them was murdered, another one was, I don't know, beaten the shit out of. And they are from the hill tribes and the Kuki people, I believe they're called, and they're Christians basically. I believe these people were Christians. So this is another case of sort of regional, religious, all types of things. And this is not like, I mean, the lady who came on talked about how rape is such a common, form of violence. But, anyway, and then according to this report, this is, by the way, the video is from 3 months ago, but it came to light like a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, there are parts of India, I remember even in early 2000s, but this was a different area, I believe. There was a fight between communist insurgents and other, like India is a complete mess. And another example why democracy is a complete bullshit. All the people who are right now going, India's democracy is on a it's falling apart, it's becoming worse right now. They're talking about liberalism, they're talking about individual freedoms. India, like in 1970s, there was all those fights with the Sikh separatists and other kinds of separatists. What India is doing in Bangladesh is not that different from what Israel is doing to Palestine. I don't know why nobody gives a shit though. Somehow, I guess, not Bangladesh. Sorry, I'm mixed up. Kashmir. Sorry, I'm a bit racist myself. So sorry about that, Kashmir, and all that. So it's just like it's so fucked up. Can we I'm genuinely blame democracy on all this. I do think if we can stop this Indian bullshit democracy.
No, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's democracy's fault only. Of course not. I think a bunch of
it's the root cause.
I wouldn't even say no. I don't. I mean, I would assume it's not the root cause. However, I would say one thing that I can be more certain about is the fact that the democracy factor is not helping it. That I could definitely be more certain.
Do you think it exacerbates or no?
It's just like doesn't provide solutions.
Well, I guess if you're a state, that's my point. If your state is ineffective in every single possible way, might as well.
Yeah.
Like it's more negative than. At any rate, but I thought you heard about this. This was quite big, even like local news in Iran and UK covered.
No.
No, you don't.
But Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
It was just too big not to talk. I felt.
No, I mean, you didn't traumatize me though, because I didn't really see the video and all that. So I mean.
All right. Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't traumatize.
But okay.
Anyway,
right. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Sorry?
No, I was gonna say take care. Bye.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.
Class, so...
And we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.